It's a You don't have to have any skill at all in the kitchen to experience one of our classes. If it's and most of our classes are hands-on, where you're going to be chopping and blending and mixing and matching and learning some of the technical things that are on display that night that you may not even be familiar with or aware of. And so I think most people leave there feeling really good about the experience.
Everybody, welcome back to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, and I am excited to bring our friend David Wiley back from Serenity Knoll Farm in Jonesboro to catch us up on all kinds of cool stuff he's had going on and what he's going to have going on in August. It sounds super exciting. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Colin. It's great to be here.
So good to see you again, my friend. First things first, Johnson City Living. What do you love most about the Johnson City area?
Well, having come from Memphis 26 years ago, I say often that I'm a city boy living in the country now.
There you go.
And it's something that I never imagined in my wildest dreams that I would leave home, because most people don't move more than 50 miles away from the place they were born. And so somehow I found myself here, and I moved with the company that I worked for 32 years.
Okay. Who is that?
Henry Schein.
Okay.
Henry Schein is a global distributor of medical and dental products.
Oh, nice.
And so I didn't have any customers when I showed up here. And after 20 some odd years of working in this area, I was able to develop a pretty good book of business that has helped me do a lot of special things at the farm and in the community. So
Yeah,
I did retire December of 2024, by the way.
Oh, congratulations.
And now I work 7 days a week.
Retired into a new position.
Well, I was doing the same thing that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
All along. So
since the last time you were on the podcast, what's new at Serenity Knoll?
Well, we had been asked over the years that if we had some housing on farm, people would come for an event and spend the night.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started an initiative to build 5 luxury cabins on farm, and those were completed the weekend of Hurricane Helene. We had a yoga retreat planned for that weekend, and fortunately for many of the attendees, they were already here before the bridges were washed out. And so as we all recall, Friday was kind of touch and go. The rain had stopped.
Mm-hmm.
The rivers were raging. The Jackson Bridge, which is just below me on the Nolichucky River, had already washed out. And there was, copious amounts of cars, trucks, tractors, propane tanks,
Debris,
refrigerators,
trees,
floating in the river.
So much stuff.
And the power and the force of the water and the debris was unstoppable. And so there was so much destruction down there. We weren't sure whether the power was going to come back on that Friday night. I think we're coming up on the 2-year mark in September. But it did come on. It was too late for us to do the activities for Friday night, but we did go on with the yoga retreat on Saturday and Sunday without any fanfare due to the enormity of the disaster that was just two miles from my farm. So
sure.
The cabins were rented for the first time, and we built a model that actually didn't work. I was trying to kind of filter our guests by encourage them to register for a cooking class and then be eligible to rent a cabin.
Oh, I gotcha.
And that didn't work.
Gotcha.
And so
cabin first and then class, right?
So we have listed them all on Airbnb for the traveling public that may or may not know about Serenity Knoll.
Sure.
They're just looking for a place to stay. And while they're there, we're going to say, oh, by the way, we have this wonderful evening of Italian food or whatever's on the schedule that night that they could enjoy.
Yeah.
And
how many people have you had cross over from that? Like just show up?
Well, we just launched last week, so we haven't had anyone yet.
Okay.
So we're still in the nurturing phase of building interest in our
Tell me
Airbnb.
about these cabins because they sound, I mean, they're going to, yeah, I bet they're beautiful.
Well, fortunately, I had a lot of help because I'm not a builder, I'm not a designer. I had a friend who was a career professional hotel designer,
Oh,
and she
nice.
actually developed the concept itself and the floor plan. And then another friend of mine who's a career professional interior designer pulled me aside one day while they were framing and said, "Who's going to help you do the interior design on this?" I said, "Well, I don't have anyone." And she said, "Well, I'm going to do it for you."
Nice.
Out of the goodness of her heart, because she wouldn't accept any money and wouldn't charge me anything.
That's a good friend.
She spent hours and hours driving over from Greenville, Tennessee, with color paint samples, tile samples, fabrics, furniture recommendations, all of that stuff, and it was just a blessing from above to be able to accept that gift from her. And so what we have are what look like, I call them the Ritz-Carlton of East Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
They're pretty nice. I could live in a barn, Colin, but most of the people that look at our cabins when I do cabin tours will say, "Wow, these are really nice."
Really
I
nice.
think we did it right.
Yeah.
And so if we have someone who's traveling through the area who needs a place to stay, I think that they'll give us high marks for comfort and safety and aesthetics, of
Are
course.
they single bedroom or doubles or?
Four of the cabins have two queens,
Okay.
just as if you were to see a hotel room,
Okay.
and then one has a king poster bed in it.
Gotcha.
They all have bathrooms, toilets, sink, vanity, small refrigerator, closet, coffee service. It's like being in a hotel.
And you're up kind of on a hill.
We we are at 1,800 feet, and I've been there. This is my 26th year, and I can tell you, I can't even count the number of beautiful sunsets that I've experienced.
Oh, I bet.
And during this time of the year, when our guests come for a cooking class and enjoy their meal together, I try to encourage them to stick around for the sunset because it's pretty magical.
It is. Our sunsets are amazing. Now, how is the vision of Serenity Knoll coming into play? I mean, is it kind of what you've envisioned, or is it always in flux and growing and developing into things you never even thought it would be?
Well, that is a very good question, Colin. And I've always been a community builder, even back when I was in Memphis. I was involved in several civic organizations, several neighborhood organizations, and I always felt it was very important to connect the dots
I agree.
because we live in a very disconnected world, especially with technology that allows us to retreat to our own little cocoon and exist in a vacuum. And that to me is not a healthy thing.
No,
And
I agree.
so I've tried to create a space that we call a sanctuary for all comers. We don't discriminate for anything. If you want to come and enjoy one of our events, whether it's a cooking class or a yoga brunch or a contra dance, which is happening next Saturday, which I'd like to make note of that.
Nice.
It's open to all comers. And so it's very important to me to be able to have a place where people can gather, interact, and enjoy the experience there. And I feel pretty confident that the goals that I set out years ago, and even as the whole project evolved, and I said, should we invest in housing?
Hmm.
Does that really make sense? And so I try to weigh these decisions to look at the overall project to see if it would enhance the experience. And everything we've done so far, including $100,000 worth of paving, oh my God,
Right.
all made sense.
Yeah. And it's only, I think, probably only adding value to your property. So it's worthwhile investments long term, I'm sure. Um, so the summer seems like just a magical time here in East Tennessee. What are you excited about in the summer right now at Serenity Knoll?
Well, in addition to having our cooking school and our beautiful event space in our cabins, I have an extreme passion for growing food. That's been a part of my soul ever since I was a kid. In fact, you probably can see this, that I have embedded dirt in my knee.
Oh yeah, I
For
do.
for
There you
for
go.
for those of you who are listening,
I
I
love
am
it.
I really like to dig in the dirt.
It feels so
And
good.
there is a miracle that is can be repeated over and over, season after season, as you watch the perennial plants go through their growth and development, and then they're settling down in the fall and they go into dormancy. I mean, I am so tuned into nature, and enjoying the cycles of nature. In addition to that, working in the soil and building soil integrity so that we can plant a seedling or plant a seed and nurture that along to the point where we can harvest it and make that a part of our offering as clean food,
Hmm.
as a part of the local food system. And so to be able to be in the marketplace and talk to our customers, or that buy from us in the marketplace, or new customers who don't know a thing about what we do or
Hmm.
how we do it or why we do it, to talk about clean food. Now, most of the people that come to the Jonesboro Farmers Market are already motivated, because Jonesboro Farmers Market is a producer only market. If you don't grow it, bake it, bottle it, or can it, you
You
can't
can't sell
sell
it,
there.
right?
And those are the core values that we align with at Serenity Knoll. And to be a part of that program, and I am a financial donor of Jonesboro Locally Grown as well, to help that organization continue to thrive, and to be a part of it as someone who's out there doing the heavy lifting of growing food and enjoying every minute of it, even if it's in a 90-degree sunny day in the summer. It's all part of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if this heat wave has taken a toll on your produce a little bit. I mean, we've had some close to 100 degree days.
Well, there are certain plants that thrive in the heat. For example, we grow jalapeno, habanero, and shishito peppers. They love it. Okay. We also grow grape tomatoes. All of our 50-foot rows of grape tomato plants are just as happy as you can be.
Sure.
And we've had copious amount of rain, which has kept us from having to do any overhead irrigation or drip irrigation. So when we have those afternoon thunderstorms that can deposit an inch of rain in 1 hour, I mean, that's all the water that we need for a whole week.
Oh wow, that's great.
And so you just have to tune into nature. I mean, working in the heat is hard enough. I try to encourage me and my two employees to get there early, work till noon if you can, and then, go on about your way, or stick around in the evening. I love being out there in the evening. That
Oh,
feels like the most comfortable time for me.
I love the evenings, and I'm an early morning guy too. I think both times are just special. The heat of the day. That's why I think they came up with the siesta, right?
Well, I lived in Memphis for so long, and so when the nighttime lows never got below 80, and the humidity from the river,
Oh, it
it
was
it was
miserable.
it was
Yeah.
tough.
Oh, it was tough. We used to go in the summers to see my grandparents, and like you almost felt like you're forcing the door open because of the humidity. And then as soon as you walked out, you were just drenched in sweat. Like it was just a lovely place to visit.
Well, I used to joke when I wore a coat and tie, or a shirt and tie, that I would walk out on my front porch and say hello to my neighbor on the right,
Yep.
say hello to my neighbor on the left, and sweat would be dripping off the end of my nose, and I hadn't done
I hadn't done
hadn't done
anything except
anything.
walk outside.
Right.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about what you've got going on. Why do you think people are craving these experiences over at Serenity Knoll, or experiences of, we talked a little bit about it beforehand, but I think
Well,
sharing that again would be great.
everyone has to eat, and many people have an interest in broadening the scope of their culinary palate, if you will. And so, thanks to Sheridan Nice, who's our culinary director, who has a long history of food in the area. She's well traveled, well trained. We've been able to recruit some top notch instructors who are just brilliant when it comes to presenting and teaching food. And so I feel like with our facility and our staff and our instructors and our kitchen assistants, that we really, really offer a wonderful experience for people to come into our kitchen. And we do a comment card for everyone to fill out. I review every one of those comment cards. And I'm not bragging, Colin, but I'm telling you, whatever we're doing it right
Good.
because the reviews are really, really flowery, and it makes us appreciate the support of the community, and it also makes us feel like what we're doing is very purposeful as well.
Walk me through a cooking class. Like if Carly and I want to come to one of the events, one of the evening and learn from one of the chefs on how to prepare a meal. Do we get to stay and eat it there and enjoy the space as well? Or
Absolutely, we're a dine-in cooking class where um, let's we'll use the example of making fresh pasta. Fresh pasta is something that is very easy to do, but it's also technique sensitive. And so we are fortunate to have a local resident of Greenville who was born in Italy
mm,
and raised there. She came to college in the United States in Charleston. She met her husband when she was in college, and they now have 3 children and they live in Greenville, Tennessee.
oh, nice.
And so she is authentic. She is patient. She's instructive, and everyone loves her.
That's
She's just as cute as can be. And I'll mention her name if I can. Her
yeah.
name is Priscilla Hutto, Hutto. And she does fresh pasta, lasagna. Um, she does risotto. She does all of these popular Italian dishes that everyone can do, then everyone can replicate at home with just a little bit of guidance. And so you would make your pasta, you would make your sauces, you would cook your pasta al dente, she would prepare a salad, and you would come and plate up and sit out in our pavilion in the open air and enjoy your dinner.
It sounds fantastic.
So, I mean, we do
Do you do wine pairings and that kind of thing too? And
we have done wine pairings.
mhm,
We are a BYOB,
gotcha.
and a lot of people do bring their favorite beverage, and we have wine glasses and wine openers and
Okay.
all of those accoutrements. And so, whatever people want to bring, we ask them without too much pressures to drink
Of course. Yeah.
responsibly, and if they don't, then we steer them to one of our cabins.
There you go. That's right. You get an Airbnb guest that night. I love it.
No, it's a you don't have to have any skill at all in the kitchen to experience one of our classes. If it's and most of our classes are hands-on, where you're going to be chopping and blending and mixing and matching and learning some of the technical things that are on display that night that you may not even be familiar with or aware of. And so I think most people leave there feeling really good about the experience and really good about the instructor and really good about the people they met. I mean, I see that in big letters all the time. We had so much fun. We learned a lot and we met some really cool people.
Right.
And that is what it's all about for me.
Yeah. That's a win, win, win all the way around. Yeah. I think it would served me well to learn to cook better and or yeah, learn more techniques and all that fun stuff because I don't do it enough and I would love to learn and so I'm looking forward to coming. You want to talk about pricing on those nights or anything like that just for our
Sure.
guests so they're not like, oh, this is probably $1,000 experience or something.
No, our prices are very reasonable. I have taken cooking classes all over the world, literally, whether it's California or New York or Florida and also in Europe, and our price point is very reasonable. Um, most of our classes are $65 per person. Some of them that have a more elaborate uh, recipe component like meat or fish, something like that could be $75.
Sure.
Rarely do we have anything beyond 75.
Gotcha.
And so we feel like for this particular market, that is a very attractive price point.
I agree. And you're getting a good meal and you're learning techniques too.
And the social part of it too.
Right.
It's hard to really measure the value of that, but when I see comments about that as being one of the highlights of being here, not just the scenic part of it or the instruction or the meal itself, but it's the social component of it too.
Do you think this is just me thinking out loud a little bit? Do you I'm not well versed in cooking. And so do you think there's like do I need to have some skills before I come? Are people gonna, how do you overcome that fear? Like, oh, I'll look dumb, or I won't, you know.
I understand your concern about inadequate
Sure. There we go.
inadequacy in the kitchen. And I can promise you that what we're showing and what we're telling about is something that everyone can do with mastery. And you would walk out of there saying, "Oh gosh, I didn't really know how to hold a chef's knife. And now I do. I know how to chop with the tip of the knife and going down through it. I didn't know that. I thought you just chopped up and down.
Right.
And these little nuances
Makes a
that you'll
huge
see
difference.
from an instructor like Nathan Brand, who started Timber
I
Restaurant.
love Nathan.
Nathan is on our team.
Okay, great.
Carla Grimaldi, who is a fabulous career professional chef who moved here from New York 4 years ago. She's Greek, married to an Italian. People love her.
I'll bet. I bet.
Our Italian chef, Nancy King, is Polish, and she's from Pennsylvania, and she teaches our pierogi class
Oh, wow.
that sells out every time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I never would have imagined. And then you take Deidre Hariff from Greenville, Tennessee. She was a restaurateur in Greenville for many years.
Mm-hmm.
She teaches our biscuit from scratch class,
Oh, yum.
and that is extremely popular.
Yeah.
You would think that everybody in East Tennessee
should know how to make a biscuit.
knew how to make a biscuit, but they don't.
They don't.
But they do now when they come to her class.
That's right. Or we just know where to go, Bojangles, and just get a biscuit.
Well, that's not a bad choice.
That's not a bad choice. What are some of the are there a series, like can you sign up for a number of classes and learn different techniques throughout to kind of have like a little mini course?
Well, the way we have it structured right now, it's a mixed bag of coursework. Some of them have some continuity to it, but most of them are separate and apart. Each class has its own theme, has its own content. I teach kids classes every Wednesday afternoon, and that has been an amazing experience.
Now, how old can these little ones be?
The age group that we're targeting is 6 to 12.
Okay.
And a parent or guardian has to attend.
I love it.
And more often than not, the parent or guardian is involved because some of the youngsters are still trying to understand what a measuring spoon is and how to mix and stir and all that stuff. We did a class this week, actually last week, called Stars and Stripes, which was a 4th of July theme.
I love it, yeah.
Where they, I baked some sugar cookies ahead of time, and they took some strawberry cream cheese and made an icing on this big cookie, and then decorated it with sliced strawberries and blueberries and some sprinkles on top. Delicious. We had such a good time. And another popular kids class that I did a couple weeks ago was waffle cones. And I'm telling you what, it was amazing. And we're repeating that class, I think, next week.
Okay.
And also we had a private party that backed out for this coming Thursday. So I did a pop-up, and this is going to be an adult class, waffle cones, ice cream, and the old Shoney's classic hot fudge cake.
Yes.
And so,
oh man,
we may not get any traction.
I don't know. That sounds really appealing.
But thinking about it, but see, a lot of the adults that come to classes, I try to do a proper welcoming when they get there and tell them about some of the other events that we have going on. And when I was mentioning week after week this waffle cone thing, they all said, "Well, we want to do we want to do that."
All the parents are jealous.
We want to do that.
Yeah, that's excellent. I
have a waffle cone maker that I've had since we opened in 2018, and I never used it up until 2 weeks ago.
And you're like, "Hey, let's bring this out."
I had to do a little bit of a crash course on making a waffle cone.
Let's get this out of the closet. I love it. I love it. Okay. You ready to tell us about this new event that's coming? You are bringing in a chef from Bologna, Italy.
Yes. This is probably the biggest creative adventure I've done since we started. I guess we've got a great program, but I wanted to add a little layer of international flavor to it. So I started traveling in Europe in 2018, and one of the places that I visited was Bologna, Italy, and I took a cooking class there at the Culinary Institute of Bologna with Chef Alexandra Witters, and we had such a good time together. I think there was one other person in the class, so I kind of called it a private class, making pasta bolognese.
Oh,
I'm not Italian, but I
that
think
sounded
I could
good.
fake it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So anyway, I told Alexandra at the time, I said, someday you're going to come to Serenity Knoll and bring the Italian cuisine and the Italian tradition.
I love it.
And so we put together a program that is on our website. It has the content of each class. There are 8 separate classes, and the price point and the date and the time. And we have already had, I think, 3 or 4 people sign up for everything.
Every day I'm coming.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, here, if you think about, I'm a foodie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fly to Rome and spend 2 weeks in Italy.
It's going to be.
You're going to spend $10,000
Exactly.
easily. And so I'm saying you can get the same experience for
Right
a whole
here.
lot less right here at Serenity Knoll.
I love it.
So I'm thinking this is going to be such a unique food experience. Knowing what I know about Alexandra and how charming she is and how knowledgeable she is and how technically superior she is. Now, I just came back from 16 days in Europe, the last 2 weeks of April, and I spent 3 days with her in Bologna.
Oh, nice.
And we had several meals together. We talked for the longest time. And then the last day I was there, I went to her little storefront in downtown Bologna, where her and her partner make fresh pasta every day. And in Italy, the locals come and buy this fresh pasta for their meal that evening.
Right.
It's such a great life.
Oh.
And so
explain to us the difference in the flavor and the taste of like pasta that was made that morning.
Colin, it's really difficult to express how tasteful fresh food is across the board. Fresh pasta is so flavorful. Now, as I went through a private class with her, learning how to make tortelloni, not tortellini. Tortelloni. And the tortelloni is on our classes for August. Tortelloni is a filled pasta, and you use ricotta cheese, Parmigiano, and fresh grated nutmeg. That was pretty good.
Nutmeg in there. I didn't know that.
Yes. And so you make a filling, put it in a piping bag, you cut your little pasta squares out, and you squirt your filling in there, and then you take one corner and pull it over to the opposite and take the tails and wrap them around.
Yeah. So it's just a little different than a ravioli.
Oh, yeah.
Just the shape of it, but still you got to fill it.
I mean, ravioli is much easier to do.
And a meat-based usually.
But it has a filling.
Right. And
so we made fresh pasta while I was in her shop there, and I thought I had it right on, spot on. And she goes, "No, David, that's not good enough." And I said, okay. So when you're with a pro,
right,
and you're trying to emulate what she's doing with her guidance, it makes all the sense in the world as to why your dough ball should be perfectly smooth.
Oh, I bet.
Like a bowling ball.
Right.
Or my forehead. Anyway, so and then rolling your pasta out, and she could do it in her sleep. I have a small video watching her roll her pasta out, and it's just, and everyone I think who comes to our August series is going to take away the ability to do that, because she's going to be with you every step of the way.
I love it. Yeah, that sounds
so
like
it's going to be a unique experience like the Tri-Cities has never seen before. I guess I can't hype it up enough, because I really believe in her as a true professional and her ability to teach. Plus, she's just a lot of fun.
Okay. Witters does not sound Italian.
She was born in Amsterdam.
Okay.
And she has an interesting family story, but she was essentially raised till about 18 in Germany.
Okay.
And then she moved to Bologna.
Oh, wow.
and her parents are actually from southern Italy, from Calabria,
Okay.
and that southern part of Italy is largely a blue collar area, and all of the people who want jobs that are worth anything go north for work,
Gotcha.
and so that doesn't take away from the charm and the beauty of some of those coastal towns, and of
Hmm.
course Puglia and Calabria have their own unique appeal. I cannot wait to go back to Italy and go to some of the places that Alexander recommended to me that are off the beaten path. Some of the smaller coastal towns are just absolutely gorgeous and charming in their own way. And instead of me being trampled on in Florence by, thousands and thousands of visitors, and
Right.
Colin, you were there and you know what that's
Oh
like.
yeah, that's a popular spot.
And it gets toasty warm in Italy in the summertime. And
Yeah,
I figured out that the best time to go was April,
smart.
to spend 6 days in Italy, 6 days in France, and then 4 days in Zurich.
Sounds like a
So,
rough life, David.
well, I worked hard to get where I am,
That's right.
Colin,
There you go.
and I'm out there spreading the joy and telling the world about how unique Jonesboro, Tennessee is, and the Tri Cities,
I love it.
and they're all moving here. As a
Yeah,
matter of
I
fact,
know. And I think it's cool that you're not only going abroad and meeting new people, but you're bringing them here to allow us to come and visit and spend time with them and learn and grow. And now, just me thinking out loud here, are you having to have her bring ingredients with her, or can you source that stuff here for a lot of the pastas and
she
things?
she has given me an extensive ingredient list,
You got some homework.
and we think, with the exception of her preferred flour.
That was my one thing.
The flour that she uses is a brand called Pavetti, Pivetti. I cannot find it here in the U.S. I have not given up.
Isn't that wild that you can't get a certain flour here? I
Well,
mean, I think
I
we
have
have.
been using Caputo, which is an Italian brand, and they have a large market share in the world. They make a 00 flour, which is what you would be using to make your pasta with.
That's extra ground, so it's
It's very
very
finely
smooth,
ground.
very
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Um, and so uh, when she showed me a bag of the Pavetti, I said, "Oh my goodness, where am I going to find this flour?" And so I've talked to a couple of sources around here to see if they can get some of their bigger food distributors to source it for
Oh, there
us.
you go. Or if one of our listeners right now is headed there,
If
bring back a couple 50-pound bags for David on your way back. Now he'll.
that would get them free admission to to our August series.
Oh my goodness.
But I think everything else.
Do you want to
And
take us through some of the classes she's going to be teaching? I know
yeah,
you brought
yeah.
a beautiful flyer.
Of course, we're going to be making this ricotta tortellini.
So this starts on Friday, the 21st of August.
Friday the 21st. There'll
Okay.
be an evening session Friday the 21st. We'll be making fresh pasta that night with a traditional filling and a tomato sauce. She calls it the truest taste of Bologna, the most beloved pasta tradition. And then Saturday morning from 11:30 to 1 p.m. they're going to be making tagliatelle. I hope I pronounced that correct.
Sounds
And
great.
two authentic regional sauces, prosciutto di Parma and zucchini blossoms. And we are growing zucchini on the farm right now.
Oh,
And hopefully we will have those blossoms available for her
that'll be
that
great.
day.
Yeah.
Then Saturday evening is a panzanella, caponata, and pork scallopini with a white wine sauce. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it does. My mouth's
So
watering.
that is the Saturday evening from 6:30 to 8:30. And then Sunday morning, we're going to, Italians don't do brunch
They don't do it.
like we do.
Okay.
And so we're going to be making panna cotta on Sunday and tiramisu that we'll be able to serve later on that day.
I like it.
We're doing a traditional farm to table dinner on Sunday night, the 23rd.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that we will be able to source through our Jonesboro locally grown network everything that will be plated up for that meal that night, including the proteins, the meat, the pork, the lamb, any of that stuff that we're going to use protein wise. I'm hoping that we'll be able to source from our local network. I don't know whether people know it or not, but there's an abundance of really good organic food or nearly organic food available in Jonesboro at the farmers market. There are several meat processors there that do poultry. The Centel family from Greene County makes some of the finest sausage that you'll ever find.
Mm.
And so to go and experience the Jonesboro Farmers Market is such a place of abundance. There's a local coffee grinder, Over Mountain Coffee, that has a local grinder there in Jonesboro, and we actually stock their coffee in our cabins.
Oh, wow.
So
It's delicious. Yeah.
if you're familiar with how to use a French press, you can French press out with a hot water kettle in your room your own coffee.
Oh, perfect.
So the series in August is going to be that first weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we're going to take a break. We're thinking about having an invitation-only reception for her on Monday night, where we're going to invite some dignitaries that are in the food business here. We would love to have some chefs that are dark on Monday nights to
Right.
come and be with her.
Yeah.
And some other people that are passionate foodies like me, and of course some of our own supporters at Serenity Knoll that are in our kitchen every week. And believe me, there are people that come week after week.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So,
I love it. I love it.
so she's going to be teaching some classes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that week. And there's going to
sauces and
there's a lot of people
aperitifs.
would like to know and get really proficient in making all those Italian sauces, and that's going to be the Wednesday night class. And then we're going to do some aperitivos and some drinks with small plates. And small plates are something that people are not really keen about. If you have a gathering at your house, or if you're just doing something simple for the family at home, to be able to create small plates, they are absolutely delicious.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And then Friday night.
And then on Saturday, she flies back to Bologna. And on Saturday morning, she flies back to Bologna, and I'm flying to London that day.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to travel to Warsaw, Budapest, and Prague on my own little food pilgrimage of the Eastern Bloc countries.
Oh, wow.
And
That'll be fun.
see what I come up with there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Are you videoing and doing different things when you're going to these places? And
Well, on my trip in April, I produced copious numbers of TikTok videos.
Oh, cool.
And had a lot of fun with those.
How can we find you on TikTok?
David Bruce Wiley 317 is my handle. And I was fortunate enough to have friends in Paris that are from Knoxville who came there to go to graduate school and never left. I have friends in Limoges, which is about a 3-hour train ride south of Paris, that are from Asheville, that have been teaching English in Limoges in the French countryside for 10 years. They're raising a family there. I have a friend, of course, in Bologna. And then I have a friend that I met in Costa Rica 3 summers ago from Zurich, and I spent 4 days hiking around Zurich area with her. And, it's like I tell everybody, make friends with everybody.
Oh, my goodness. You just never know.
If you want friends, be friendly. You never know when you're going to
Exactly.
show up halfway around the world and they say, hey, come on, let me take care of you.
Yeah, and how fun is that?
I know.
Yeah, that's really fun. And then you've got a local expert that you're hanging out with, and they're showing you all these cool hiking places and restaurants.
As a tourist, and I'm an avid tourist, I finally got enough nerve to fly to Europe when I turned 70 a few years ago. Local knowledge just cannot be beat.
No.
And
really.
I encourage people to take cooking classes. Italy is famous for doing these wine tours of the countryside where you spend the night somewhere and then you prepare a meal with the host. I mean, traveling and eating and drinking wine in Italy sounds like better than chocolate ice cream all day long to me.
It sounds really, really good. Really good. Now, you guys not only feed us, you help us be healthy. You have a wellness and yoga program as well.
Yes,
You want to talk a little bit about that before?
Right. During the pandemic, or before the pandemic, I was very involved in the local contra dance scene. If the listening audience doesn't know what contra dance is, it's a traditional folk dance that's been in this country for over 2 centuries. It waxed and waned over the decades, and then had a huge revival in the 80s,
Mm.
especially in the Asheville area.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually saw contra dance at a big event in the Asheville area in 2001, and it was just electric. I said,
Oh,
"Oh my
that's cool.
God!" I said, "I want to be one of those someday." And then um, became a single person in 2004 and decided that I was going to jump headfirst into the contra dance scene. And I was actually at a music festival called Merle Fest over in North Wilkesboro every spring. Many of the music fans that are in this area go to that festival, and
I've
they had
heard
a
of it.
dance tent there
Oh, that's cool.
because I can't sit and listen to music all day long. I got to move.
Right.
And so I went over there and stepped out on the dance floor, and this lady dragged me out there, kicking and screaming, and turned me into a contra dancer just like that. I
Oh,
said,
great.
"We're going to bring this to Jonesboro."
There you go.
And so in the fall of 2005, we did a couple of practice dances that were well attended. And then we started the contra dance scene in Jonesboro in January of 2006. And 500 dances later, COVID happened, and then all focus groups went dark for 2 years.
Right.
And so after giving 15 years of my life to building community using traditional music and dance, I said, maybe it's time for me to step down and maybe pivot to something else. And that something else became yoga.
Mm.
And so we started doing some yoga at Serenity Knoll Farm. We have a beautiful event space. And I was fortunate enough to connect up with Erin Horton, who's a local yoga instructor who organizes a lot of yoga events in Jonesboro. She teaches at Real Hot Yoga. Everyone in the yoga community knows Erin Horton. She's amazing and wonderful, and she actually orchestrates our yoga program by recruiting instructors and helping us advertise. We do a yoga brunch every Sunday at 11 a.m., which is an hour of gentle yoga. We have all the gear. You don't have to know a thing about yoga. You don't have to be able to do a seated forward fold and touch your nose to your knees. It doesn't matter.
That's good because
Your practice is your practice.
Right.
And then I prepare a spread of food that's very healthy, and we all eat together. And so it's a wonderful community building experience to both move and breathe, and then enjoy a meal and get to know people in the yoga community. And then on Wednesday night, we do a sunset yoga at 7:00. That's $5. And that's a wonderful experience too.
That's awesome.
So we grow food, we do yoga. There's a contra dance next Saturday. The organization that I built from nothing still exists, and they dance once a month at Serenity Knoll Farm on the second Saturday. And it's an absolute wonderful experience. And I'm seeing more and more young people gravitate to contra dance, and it's a beautiful sight.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Vision for Serenity Knoll 5 years from today. We have you back on the podcast.
Well, I hope it's not that far out.
No, we won't. We'll have you back soon.
I hope, Colin, that we continue to thrive. And when I say thrive, that means people are going to come to whatever events that we create. We're constantly trying to be creative with our programming to find really attractive content to get kids involved. I mean, kids are our future, whether it's in the political arena or the business community or in education. We've got to teach these kids some basic kitchen skills so that when they leave the nest, they can do more than boil water and eat ramen.
There we go.
And so I'm seeing a lot of parents bring their kids to our professional kitchen to see and feel what it's like.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, based on what I've seen, there are a lot of 10, 11, and 12-year-olds who know their way around the kitchen. And you can tell that parent and child relationship is good in that environment. And that really excites me.
Yeah.
And some of them are going to even end up gravitating to one of the 9 high school culinary arts programs. I don't know whether you've ever had them on your podcast or not, but I would highly encourage you
that'd be awesome.
to get their leadership here to talk about their program. I think it is Dobbins Bennett or Westridge High School has won national competition in Orlando 2 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
And these are high school kids. They have a 4-year program, and they've been able to take their skill to national competition and win. And I think that that's something that's
Isn't that
noteworthy,
amazing?
and
Yeah.
and is something that you should highlight. I mean, they are going to be the future of our food purveyors here. They're the ones who are going to be slinging food in your local restaurant or cafeteria or where or in a food truck. And we've got to support these kids
For sure.
because they are dedicated and committed to a career in food.
I love it. I love it. You ready for the rapid fire round real quick?
Fire away.
Favorite meal to cook?
I love pasta. There's so many things that you can do with it. It's so versatile. I remember last summer I had some bucatini. Bucatini is a pasta shape. It's round. It's solid and tubular. And I cooked it up, and we had some beautiful yellow grape tomatoes on the vine. And the recipe that I had called for red tomatoes. I said, let's give this a little different look, and let's take these yellow tomatoes and cut them in half and add them to the pasta mix. Then, of course, we grow Italian parsley on farm, so chopped up some parsley, put on there, and then I took a dollop of ricotta cheese and put it on there. And I took a picture of it and posted it on TikTok, and it got 50,000 views overnight.
Whoa. Holy smokes.
And
That's awesome.
and it was really good.
I bet. And it was really good.
Pasta to me is so versatile, where you can do a plain pasta or a stuffed pasta, where you're doing ravioli or lasagna. It's so versatile.
Okay.
You can do meatless, you can do vegetarian, you can do cheese. It's so easy to do.
So this may be the same. You're going to have to pick a different answer for this one. Favorite ingredient?
Favorite ingredient is anything that's fresh. I think that if you can get your hands on fresh, clean food, many of the merchants that are in the area are increasing their offering of organic food for whatever that's worth. But clean food, anything that's fresh,
Okay.
and if you can support your local farmers, the people that do the heavy lifting, who come into your studio with embedded dirt in their knees.
Dirty need people, support them and love them and take care of them. Coffee or tea?
I am an herbal tea expert here. And in fact, at Serenity Knoll Farm, we blend and package 4 different herbal teas.
Oh, cool.
I never was a coffee drinker, Colin. I would much rather have a really nice cup of hot cocoa. But herbal tea is something I do every day.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Sunrise or sunset?
Oh, I am a sunset fanatic. And it's only because it's kind of a reward for effort for the day.
There you go.
And if you get a chance to come up to my place, especially this time of the year, and stick around for sunset is not a dynamic thing. A static thing. It is a dynamic thing. It's
Every night is different. Oh my gosh.
It's an evolving process and it depends on the temperature, humidity, the cloud formations, the wind direction. It's so many variables that can create this magical canvas that we call a sunset. And it's not just when the sun goes below the horizon, because that sometimes is when the magic starts.
Mm-hmm. It is true, for sure. Favorite place on the farm?
Oh gosh, favorite place on the farm would have to be on our deck or in the pavilion. It's such a beautiful space to look out over the tree line and the horizon. It's just such a soothing, comforting place to be to relax and enjoy.
One cooking tip everyone should know.
Follow the directions.
There's a recipe for a reason.
30% of Americans don't cook a single meal, and it's just horrible to even imagine that people think that what you receive through the driver's side window is considered food.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we can argue that all day long, but cooking is not that difficult.
Right.
Find a recipe that appeals to you, and there's so many sources, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok. They're pushing food content out all day long. TikTok knows I'm a foodie, so I'm getting recipes all day long. Just get your ingredients together, follow the recipe. You can't go wrong.
One kitchen gadget everyone should own.
Oh gosh.
Besides a waffle cone maker.
I love my there's actually 2 that I
Okay,
like.
hit it.
I like my food processor,
Yep.
and I don't work for Cuisinart, but they make a really fantastic product, and I've been a Vitamix owner since the original model came out, and I actually got rid of it a couple of years ago. I had had it since the '70s,
Oh, wow.
and so, a good food processor, a good blender. Um, there's so many other gadgets that we use in the kitchen, but the real workhorses are your food processor and your blender.
Okay. Dream chef you'd love to host
Oh gosh.
besides Alexandra.
Um, I have been eyeballing several people. I actually came close to bringing Nacho Aguirre here. He is a chocolatier
Ooh,
from San Antonio,
okay.
who I also met in 2018. Oddly enough, I was there at a conference and I wandered around to his little shop on the north side of San Antonio. And he and his wife, Susanna, are world famous chocolatiers.
Oh,
And he had just won the 2018 Food Network Spring Bake Off.
oh, wow.
And I walked in the door and there was a life size poster of him holding the award. And I could see him back in the back, uh, making macarons or something. And I told the clerk that I had opened up a cooking school, and she said, "Well, you've got to meet him." I said, "No, no, no. I can see he's busy in there." He goes, "No, I insist." So he comes out there and he's the friendliest person on the planet.
Mm.
And we had our pictures made together. And so I had several talks with him over the years about him coming to do a weekend of chocolate.
That'd be
And we
awesome.
had the contract signed. It was for the first week of December 2025. And it just got no traction because that is such a busy time of the year
Oh, yeah.
during the holiday
Yeah.
season, from Thanksgiving to New Year's. So we still have that program in the can. I would love to bring him here.
Maybe
There's
February or
there's
something.
there's another young chef who grew up in Kingsport. He's the son of Roy Settle. His name is Doug Settle, and Doug lives in San Diego, and he is a Michelin star rated
Oh,
chef.
wow.
He's a local boy. We've been talking to him. There's a chef in California that I've admire and respect a lot, David Mayfeld. There are lots of talented people out there that would just blow everybody's mind if I could get them here.
Right.
And to do a weekend of chocolate with Nacho and Susanna Aguirre would be an incredible experience.
That would be fun.
He is fun, fun, fun. And
Yeah.
you can see him on all social media. And I think he's still a judge on the Food Network. In fact, Angela Bose, who teaches our French macaron, our cake decorating, is a 2-time winner on the Food Network. She lives in Gray.
Oh, wow.
And she's one of our featured instructors at Serenity Knoll. And the last time she won, Nacho Aguirre was one of the judges.
Oh, that's cool.
And so we kind of have a local connection there.
That's great.
But Angela Bose fills our space every class.
All right. Where can our listeners find out about Serenity Knoll?
The best place to get information about us, of course, is our website, www.serenityknoll.com.
We'll have that in the show notes.
And
then
we also-
Instagram and all that fun stuff.
So
Are you on the Instagram?
Yes, we are on Instagram. We have, aside from Sheridan Nice, we have Megan Boehm, who's our social media director, and she does a lot of the reels and advertisements that go on Instagram and our Facebook page, serenityknoll.com. We've got 13 or 14,000 followers on Facebook now, which is amazing. I mean, I don't know where they are, but they're following us.
They're around. They're following you.
around.
That's right. That's right. Well, anything I forgot to ask you or you didn't share?
I don't know. I'm pretty excited about being here, Colin, and sharing the story about what we've done at Serenity Knoll Farm. It's kind of a unique project. I'm proud to be a part of it and one of the collaborators. I'm not the driving force. We do work as a team, and I am the host, and I love to welcome people there. We're hoping that our behavioral outcomes yield a very positive review. And,
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
so we got a review on Google the other day that just gave me goosebumps. And
Oh,
I mean, that's what drives me in retirement to work 7 days a week.
right. Right. I think it's special. I owe you an apology because when you're on here last time, I was like, I can't wait to come out, and unfortunately, I haven't been there.
Haven't
So
seen you.
I'm putting it down in the concrete right now. I'm going to be there, I promise, and I'm excited to see it and be a part of it. And you can teach me how to cook. That'll be a lot of fun.
We
It'll
can
be a
do
lot
all
of
that.
fun. Well, it's been a pleasure catching up. I'm excited to catch up with you and have our listeners learn more about Serenity Knoll. I'm excited about Alexandra coming in August. So you better get in there, get online, sign up now, get tickets now because it's going to sell out and it's going to be awesome. And Carly and I may even be there hanging out too. So come on out. We'd love to have you. Till next time, share this podcast. Thank you for being subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And I hope you have a great day.